Hi everyone, Miss Andrea here. Today I'm here at Beebe Pond Park. This place is extra special to me because it's just down the road from the house I grew up in. So I've been hiking these trails for quite some time now, and I'm excited to share them with you today. So let's go for a hike. Today let's take a closer look at what's on the forest floor. If you've ever noticed old logs on the forest floor and all the dead leaves on the forest floor, while decomposing, there's a lot going on. If we didn't have the decomposing process, our forest floors would be littered up higher than us. So looking at these logs can give us a nice kind of idea. You can see that this log is slowly crumbling apart. That can be from different insects and things like that. When we come across a log on the forest floor, a lot of people like to say the FBI shows up. The FBI is fungus, bacteria, and invertebrates. So fungus, like mushrooms, I'm not seeing too many mushrooms on these logs right now, but we'll have to keep an eye out for them. They will start off underneath the log, push their way through, and slowly eat away at it. And then bacteria is any other kind of life force that breaks away, like lichen and things like that break away. And invertebrates, which are insects. So right in this area you can see it's really wet and kind of marshy. These are what we call vernal pools, and vernal pools happen in the springtime with a lot of the spring rain coming down. And it's these spots especially that salamanders flock to mate and lay their eggs. So if you ever come across one of these, keep a lookout for some jelly-like eggs. The eggs look very similar to frog eggs, and they have a very similar life pattern like a frog. Here's the life cycle of a salamander. As you can see, the larva stage looks a lot like a tadpole. Their cycle works just in time before that mid to late summer where these vernal pools will dry up. And luckily by then they'll be grown enough to venture back into the woods and find their happy little spot under a log. Let's get back to talking about logs. Logs are a really great place to look underneath them to see what lives there. Like I said before, salamanders like to live under logs, so let's see if we can find a salamander. Oh, here's one. It's an eastern redback salamander. It's really important that when you find a salamander, to either make sure your hands are really muddy or use the leaves to help pick it up. Come here, buddy. Woo. Check out that little salamander. It almost looks like maybe an animal bit off the tip of its tail, and you can see it's growing it. It's growing it back. You see I'm holding it on the leaf. So salamanders are amphibians, which means that they absorb a lot from their skin. And so because they absorb a lot from their skin, they're really sensitive to what they are on and what they're touching. Luckily, I don't believe I have really anything on my hand that is toxic for this guy, but that's why I'm trying to keep him on a leaf, so that way if there is any even natural oils on my hands, they're not going to hurt him or harm him in any way. So I'm going to put this guy back so I don't scare him too much. There you go, buddy. Let's look under the log a little bit more and see what else we can find. We got some roly-polies down here. Those are definitely help with the decomposition of the log. We have some mold and some spores right here that are growing, and you can kind of see the white here. That's fungus that's chipping away at that log even more. So there it is, nature doing its part to help break down the forest floor. That's going to turn into really good moist soil, which is great for plants and other trees to grow. The leaf litter on the ground is really important too, because that's where a lot of our insects and other animals are hibernating in the wintertime. When you're hiking in nature, it's really important to every now and then stop and look really closely at the forest floor, because look at what I just discovered. Found some sightings of our first little fiddleheads. Fiddleheads are the little spiraled up plant of ferns. So it's a baby fern plant. So it starts off in a spiral, and as it grows and grows, it starts pulling out of that spiral and turning into the ferns that we see in the summertime. It wouldn't be a New England trail without a rock wall. Here we have the skunk cabbage leaf, and you can see kind of the old flower that's there. But next to it, though it looks similar, this actually isn't skunk cabbage. This is hellebore. And hellebore can be mistaken a lot for skunk cabbage, but you can see the leaves are a lot different. The hellebore has these lines that are that kind of parallel each other and go up, while the skunk cabbage leaf looks more like the leaf that you'd kind of like it has a central vein and the veins coming off of it. So you can see that they are different leaves. Hey friends, we're at the end of our hike now, and there was one thing that I forgot to mention before that I just want to reiterate now. Whenever you tip over a log and look underneath to see if you can find anything, it's always really important to put everything back that you find and to make sure that you're leaving the space the way you found it. So pushing that log back over, pushing the leaves back around it to make sure it's safe and good for all the animals and creatures that you've disturbed. Another thing that I'd like to remind you is to always drink water while you're hiking and to check for ticks when you're done. Have a good day. Bye.